I think we're live. Sarah, are we live?
We are live.
Okay. Hey, everyone in audience land, if you happen to land on this and send us a quick hi and tell us where you're from, okay? I'm Hadassah Jacobs. This is Sarah Stubb, and she is the CEO of Olive Tree Works. I am the chief strategist. So we're live today because we are introducing to you a new way to think about planning. All right. You know how uh, we've heard the term before, think different, right? But today we're going to talk about planning different. We're going to introduce you to our new planning system, which starts with the Blockit planner. So we're very excited about that. So anything you'd like to say, Sarah, here?
Yes, so this is our first time live inside Olive Tree, and we're going to be going live once a week. And we are working out all the bugs, so please bear with us if we're, fumbling around. We are multi-streaming today, so hopefully we'll be all right. And I keep looking this way because I'm on the computer and my camera's over here, so it'll be interesting. But welcome.
Totally. Because this is also, I think, the first time I've ever done it from a streaming platform. We've done it from Zoom, we've done it from Ecom, we've done it with links, but we're actually streaming live. So, Sarah, how is that different, streaming live, than, let's say, going through Zoom?
So we can be live on Zoom like for a webinar or something like that, but we're actually streaming to multiple platforms. So through Restream, if you've ever heard of it, and it comes into Restream and goes out to the channels we have connected. So we are literally live right now. And
Okay.
Hadassah
Yeah.
is live in Israel right now, and I am
Oh,
live in the Chicagoland area. So it's very
totally.
awesome.
Totally. That is awesome. And that's totally, you can see that she has light shining in on her
Yes,
side.
it's very bright. We're Folks, this is the real and raw deal, okay? So, and my earbud just died, so change that out. Anyway,
Okay, so this is December 1st, and I was sharing with Sarah that this is, on a personal note, this is the first time I have gone live like this, apart from our raw and real events. But it's really the first time I've gone live like this in quite a long time. But this happens to be like an anniversary because on November 30th, 2020, I was doing or teaching a webinar, and I had a brain aneurysm. And that was a pretty, kind of life-changing moment. I was just, one, thankful I didn't die, and two, that here I am now 2 years later. And that alone is transformational because, recuperating from that. And here I sat today thinking, wow, I don't have a headache today. I'm doing really good today. And so, but in the process of that, Sarah and I began to work on a couple of things, a few things. But one we the few things that we started to work on was a incubator program to really help businesses grow. And so we put together that platform, and in doing so, in putting that platform together, just kind of laying the framework out, how would we go about it? We realized we had to create a system. And that took us into a program called Notion. Now, Sarah has been in marketing for over a decade. and she uses a system called Airtable for all her graphic content. Uh, for her graphic content. However, I'm not the graphic content person. Oh God, no. I'm the copy content person. And so I could not relate so well with the Airtable system. In fact, it really drove me bonkers. And so, but she loves the Airtable system. So I was already working on the Notion system because I do a lot of research in academics. And I was putting all my projects into Notion and learning it and growing it. So we had to figure out how we were going to put these two together. And that was creating the system. So, Sarah, you want to say anything before I go on about the beginning of this invention? Oh, you're not. I can't hear you.
There, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's been an interesting journey working together. I work with other teams as well, but on the Olive Tree team, when Kim joined on, it's been interesting because we think so differently in the planning department, or we did. We're kind of getting to be on the same page, but Airtable for me was and is so streamlined, and it's like, you have your projects, it's all boom, 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 and everything's right there, and it's quick, and you can find everything. And then Kim would come on, and she would say, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do this. And I would get so frustrated. And we literally developed this system between the two of us, but not just for the two of us, for the team, that we have other contractors that join on with us, that would work for everybody. And that's where this all came from, was this dialogue and dynamic between Notion thinking and Airtable thinking. So that's kind of where it all came from.
That's great. And so if you're thinking she's referring to you as Kim, and that's right.
Oh yes, sorry.
It's okay. No, because my American first name is Kim, so that's all good. And my Hebrew name is Hadassah, so that's also my name that's online, my first name. So in the process of that, she is correct. I am definitely like a serial entrepreneur with serial amounts of ideas, so and building out projects. And one day, about a year ago, I was really at the beginning of the year, I don't know, it was just a moment where I decided that I'm going to design a digital planner. And I did on a digital planner specific for iPad. And I was so excited about it. And Sarah says to me, well, why don't you do that for Notion? So I designed a digital planner for Notion, which I use. And we had a team, and we set up our team, and everybody got their own digital planner. And then Sarah says, you know what? I really like paper. I am a paper girl. I like to do my planning on paper. I don't really care to do a lot of digital planning. And she said, why don't we take this Blockit digital planner and turn it into a paper planner? And I said, okay. We had no idea. I mean, to me, the digital planner was like, chick, 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 chack, chick, chack. We had no idea that to really create something unique on paper that was set apart from all other planners was going to take us, what would you say, Sarah, at least 6 months?
We've been working on this for at least 6 months, for sure.
At least 6 months.
From the
digital planning part.
The digital version. So just a little background with, we work in marketing, we work in graphic design, strategy, social media, and we work on a lot of projects with a lot of moving parts. And
A lot.
that is why planning for us has been, and this planner has been monumental, because we not only work on projects inside Olive Tree, but we also work with other people where we're teaching them how to manage their projects. So when this digital planner she's talking about came along, when she developed this, it was in Keynote, right? That was like the first rendition.
Yeah.
It was in Keynote.
Yeah.
And so she, slapped it all together. Not slapped. It was quite a project for her. And she came to me and said, "Okay, can you beautify this?" So
Exactly.
so, so then I took it and designed it and made it nice and aesthetically pleasing. And I was like, okay, and I never really thought much about it after that. I thought that we might offer it to people as a digital download, maybe something for free, and it actually morphed into what we have today, which is the Blockit Planner. But go ahead. That was a long way of saying the digital planner, where it started from, that keynote.
It was. And so you just heard Sarah say something very interesting. And we're going to tie this together in towards the end. Notice she said, I created something and then I handed it back to her and said, make it nice. Turn it into something professional. And because she is exceptional at design and she is exceptional at creating content that is aesthetically attractive and attracts. And so we have this kind of team thing going on between us where I do all the copy and then she creates the graphics and she takes the copy and turns it into something that is out of this world. And in fact, every time she creates something, I don't mean to brag on you, but I have to say, I hand her a piece of paper with bullet points and some paragraphs and whatever, and I get back, something that is so stunning. And I think, did we really do this? But this is teamwork, because not all of us, and that also has taken quite a bit of restructuring. Why? Because I was used to doing everything myself. And actually, when Sarah and I met, and I had created this Let's Learn Hebrew website, and Sarah's like, "Oh my God." It's like,
do we have a screenshot of that first version?
Every color there was, no brand specific. There was nothing, there was no continuity anywhere.
And I would be like, Kim, can we talk about this brand? Can we talk about it? And we literally went down to the basement level, the foundation level, and ripped it all apart, kicking and screaming, I might add. But what we have today, I really love it. But anyway, go ahead.
It's very true. It's just so beautiful. But that actually is really how, through these processes, how we learned to actually work together and learning what, when you come together with a team, the most important thing is that I know that on one level, probably the majority of the team could do about everything. Like they could just pick up and do it. But that's not where their strengths are. Every team member has a strength. And when you start really assessing and saying, gosh, that's your strength, you do that. I'll do this. You do, we have other people too. We have other people on the team and they have strengths, right? And it takes time. People think that can just happen overnight. It can't. It takes time because you have to be able to learn how to even to develop your content in a different way, because you're used to developing it on your own. So you have to learn how to develop it in sync with someone else. So
Yes.
there's a lot of very interesting moments there. And so with that said, let's go back to the story. So we had the digital planner, then we had the Notion digital planner.
Yes. The Notion system, not just the digital planner. It was
Yeah.
the full-blown Notion system. Plug for Notion if you don't use it and you're creative. Well, we're going to do a whole other webinar on Notion, but so Kim took about a month to develop out that system on Notion.
Oh, not just a month. No, I've been actually developing the system. That system, I've been learning Notion for about 3 years now, and the system that we're actually still developing. But that
Yes.
system that we have now, it's definitely been a good year, Sarah, that I've been working on that and continue to fix it and tweak it.
Fine tune it.
And fine tune it, right?
We will be going back in and fine tuning it again.
Yeah. Well, things are changing, and we're
Yeah.
developing something incredible. So, and Sarah said it, that it's one of our. For me, Notion is the most amazing platform for developing systems for your business. And so we'll be sharing that with you. So that led to the Blockit Planner. Now, before we show you the Blockit Planner, I want to say that I actually was a graduate from Dale Carnegie. I was a graduate from their sales program, right? Sales and marketing program. I graduated from Dale Carnegie. And one of the big classes that we had was time management. And then for that class, every one of us had to get a day timer. I don't know if any of you remember the day timer. It was like this big. It had so many tabs and so many different compartments. And way back then, so everywhere I went, I had a day timer for my purse, and I had a day timer for my office, and I was in international sales and marketing. So I was living by the day timer. And I just want you to know that I don't know, apart from actually putting the appointments and what you want to accomplish, like, little notes into the day timer, I really don't know how that ever moved a project forward. And I was, interestingly enough, when I first got into international sales and marketing, it was with a brand new product. This is quite a story, and I'll take 1 minute to tell it. So I was working in the printing industry, and I was a color expert. And somebody walked into our office, and they had a proof of what they wanted printed that had been made with real ink. Now, in the printing industry, proofs were made with layers of toners, just like your printer, right? Layers of toners. So this proof that was made with real ink took me by surprise, and it was magnificent. And for me to work with this real ink and adjust color, because what I did is I would fix color specifically so you could match the proof with the printed copy that was going to come off the printer. So I said, where is this guy? They said, well, we don't know. Our company ordered the proof, and we got the proof, and blah, blah, blah. I said, I'm going to find him. So I walked the streets of Elk Grove Village, Illinois, looking for this guy. And one day I was walking the streets. I said, he's got to be here in Elk Grove. And I saw a Rolls Royce in a driveway of a business building. It was the business area. And I said, this is him. I know it. And I walked up and I walked in the door, and there he was in a back room with this system, and he was making a proof, and water was being sprayed. It was the whole thing. And I said, hi, are you the guy that makes these ink proofs? And he said, yes, this is my invention. And I looked at him and I said, good, I want to sell your invention. He said, what? I said, I want you to hire me because I want to sell it. I have never seen anything like this, and I will sell your proof. He said, it's not ready yet. I said, it's ready enough. He's like, okay. So,
That is so you. That is so you.
So I tell you, I think it took a few days, and I got hired. I'll tell you what, I got hired. I got hired. I got a Rolls Royce, and I got a carte blanche account to entertain and sell this product all over the world. And this was the beginning of my international sales and marketing. So with that said, all right, I forgot why I actually started telling you this story. Okay, well, anyways, going back to sales and marketing, Dale Carnegie. So it was while I was working, we actually started here in this little thing, and then we actually became this big company, right? And I'm the head of this sales and marketing. I was the first woman speaker actually in the gravure and lithographic communities ever. And so this thing grew. So they sent me to Dale Carnegie to get all these skills and whatever. And I remember the man that I was working with, he walked in and he said to me, he said, I'm going to tell you a secret. He said, there's only one thing you need to do every day if you want to move your projects forward. He said, you need to block time. Mm-hmm. And I said, what? And he said, I'll tell you what I do. He said, I invent. And he said, to invent and then to market, I have to have time to create. So he says, you just block your calendar. Don't fill it. Block it. I said, okay, I'll try it. I tell you what, life went on. I eventually became the owner of that company and ultimately moved on in my life career, sold my part of the company, and then I moved on. However, that always stuck with me because he was an inventor. I was also very creative and innovative. And so here we were. And I said, the problem with most planners, and I'm going to show you one of my planners here. In fact, this is one of my favorite planners. Here it is. This is a typical planner where you have lots of stuff, all right, on the pages, lots of stuff. And this one has a lot of great questions. It gets you ready for the day. And then it has time slots. And you put what you're going to do in the time slots, what you're going to do that day, and you go on your way. And you look at it periodically. However, this is a very typical planner. However, most of the time, this kind of planner actually becomes your journal. It's what you put notes in. There's really no planning. All you do is jot down what you're going to do for the day. And you don't attach an action to it. You're just brain dumping on to, I want to get this done today. I want to get that done, except for appointments, or task lists, like I have to finish this, and, checklists, you can get your checklist out and do that. But this is a very, very typical planner. And so for the most part, when you do this, all right, you'll do it for a few days. And then after a few days, all right, well, that planner gets relegated to someplace. And usually what happens is you end up with blank pages like this. And then it's the next week. So now you go to the planner, right? And and now you're on the weekly review. And so now you're going to get ready for the next week. And so here, I'm now going to get ready for the next week. But I have a problem. The problem is, what do I do with all the blank pages that existed before I got to the end of the week? Because I never used them. I just didn't put down what I was going to do that day. I didn't get to my planner that day. So that's number one. It's one of the things that I noticed in planning, that we really weren't blocking time to move something forward. We were just filling the space on a piece of paper. And then the next thing, which is very, very interesting about time itself exists. We live in time. So if we want time, we're going to have to harness it. We're going to have to create it, because we just exist in it. So thankfully, we have things like hours, right? So they help us structure time. All right. So we have, the sun comes up in the morning, sets in the day. So we have day and then we have night. And it gives us a framework. But how many of you out there have said to yourself, if I only had time, if I could only find the time? I do not have enough time. I do not want to do that. I don't have time. I don't want to tell that person that I'm running late because I can't find the time to do what I told them I was going to do. All of us struggle with this, especially today, when so many things are vying for our attention. Go ahead.
I want to interject something that kind of goes back to what we were talking about in the beginning, which was the Airtable / Notion. And it's this concept of like linear planning versus this block planning that Hadassah's talking about. And when I met her, actually, I met her on Facebook. She didn't know me, but I knew her because she would go live on Facebook. And I was going through a real hard time in my life at that point, and I would just tune in, and I needed it. I needed that. I needed her, and I didn't know that at the time. But then when we started working on Let's Learn Hebrew and learning Hebrew, there was a shift in the way that I began to think. And Hadassah, Kim, she already knows Hebrew. She lives in Israel. And the way that they view projects or view time that she's talking about, it's so different than us in the US, and how we've been trained to be these like linear thinkers and linear planners, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's like in America, if you're task oriented and you have a checklist and you write all your tasks for the day as she's talking about, and then you check them off, right? And when she said you don't attach an action to it, for me, in working with a lot of projects, this way of planning has helped me to
to take that project, instead of looking at it as a task list and saying, I have 1, 2, 3, and looking at it as a block, this is my block, this is my project. And then seeing the progress of that project has been a life changer for me. And it was all in this shift of thinking. And so, Kim, can you talk a little bit more about that? Because really, it is a mindset shift that this planner will do for you.
Yeah, and yes, I can talk about it, because block logic is a very unique logic. It's a logic that's actually attached to the Torah. It's attached to the Bible. All right. It's a very interesting dynamic that exists in and really only exists in Hebrew thought. So apart from that, there's really the major mindset, or let me grab another word for you. The central logic that has built legal systems, educational systems around the world is Greek logic. Everything comes from the systems that we have really come from the Greco-Roman era. And so Greek logic is very linear. It is premise to conclusion thinking. So you start with your project or anything. Okay, you start with a thought, and I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'll be done. And we need that. I do not want to ever tell you that you don't need step by step to complete something, because we do need step by step. If you ever buy anything from IKEA, you need step by step instructions to put that thing together, right? We need step by step. However, the problem with only step by step, and where step by step exists, you have the beginning and you have the end, and you just have the things between, but it disconnects from the vision, the purpose, and the outcome. It disconnects. And so when you come into block logic, something begins to change. And that is, first of all, we're not looking for a conclusion. Now, in thinking, all right, we're actually looking to come to an understanding. In projects, we're actually looking for an outcome. Mm-hmm. We are looking for a life-changing outcome from that project. That project is connected to a vision, a purpose. We create the plan, and the plan leads us to an outcome. And so planning becomes different now, because we're not just planning, all right? We are not just planning this is, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are our steps. What we're planning is the whole, the holistic, the whole project. We're breaking it down so each part of it achieves a particular purpose. And block logic is also unique in that it is contrasting and a logic. In other words, it's not linear at all. It's quite circular, actually. Mm-hmm. And not only that, it's not only circular, but it's literally where you take contrasting thoughts, conflict. Oh my goodness. Hold on a second, folks. My battery, I thought I had charged this. I have a charger, but it's not. Okay. So, and so you're actually taking a positive and a negative, or you're taking something that is in tension with something else, and you are creating something through it. And now that may sound very elusive. However, block logic in and of itself allows you to think out of the box. It allows you to actually take into consideration all the factors and then start to put them together to create something. So often, when you just have a linear view, you cannot see everything that's involved in the process.
Right.
And when you start to see what's involved in the process, you know what? It's not all of it's going to be fun, and not all of it's going to be easy. And that's where block logic comes in, because you learn how to use the negative. You learn how to use oh God, there's a word, Sarah, I'm looking for. It's like when a plane takes off. It's you learn how to use it's not contrast. It's I'm stuck. It's okay if I'm stuck. But you learn how to use the adversity. There's the word I'm looking for. You learn how to use the adversity to actually put things in motion. And the other thing about the block logic is that the block logic actually leads to action. Greek logic actually leads to a status quo, harmony. That's what it wants. It just wants, at the end of the day, peace. Let's all go home. Let's all sing Kumbaya together. Let's all do that. But block logic actually leads you to acting, to doing. And so that's why we've created a planner that causes you to put your vision in motion, to put your ideas in motion.
And so let's just, to me, what I think about when in the context of planning and projects, when in talking about block logic, if I was going to break out a project, so I have one project, which is a block. Well, within that block could be 25 little blocks that have to be completed and worked on and thought about in order for that big block to come to fruition. So that's kind of how I envision these little blocks of projects and in the projects within the projects. So does that kind of does that illustrate that concept?
Beautifully. I'm talking more of the mindset, but when you look at the actual project, every project has to be broken down into phases and then worked on. Exactly. And I thought about, when you said that, if anybody ever had Legos when they were growing up, that's what you had to do. You had to take these little blocks and you had to start connecting them to create your whatever you were creating, your little truck, your little house, your little person. You had to connect these blocks, but you had to first identify what blocks you were going to use. And that is absolutely a very good way to look at it.
And then
the other thing we do,
the blocks of time. So when and we'll talk about the planner, but the blocks of time that the planner teaches you to use. So these 50-minute blocks of time and what we're going to put inside that 50-minute block of time. And then you're actually, when we say creating time, you're utilizing that time to be the most, would you say, productive, the most fulfilling? Like, I don't know how really to describe it other than when I use my 50-minute block of time wisely and I'm focused and I'm moving something forward, I feel so much different than just checking a box. I don't really know how to describe it other than there's a fulfillment there that I didn't waste my little 50 minutes.
Well, I think that that is true. The other thing is you get things done. I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
really do get it done.
You really
Um,
do.
the fact that you're actually connecting your project to a task, a specific outcome that you want in that 50-minute period, and then you are removing all distraction. Your phone is your phone's not there. You get your little timer, and that's it. No phones, no this, no that. You're just focusing on that. And when you finish that, you feel amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. Because you said, ticking a task, the task, if it's not connected to the purpose and the vision, is just a task.
It's just a task on a
But
list.
when you connect it to the purpose and the vision
Yes.
every day, it is a motivation, and you get so excited because you get it done.
Yes.
It's incredible. It is. You feel like, yes, I was so productive today. I didn't get off track today. I wasn't, browsing for 5 hours and then thinking at the end of the day, oh my God, what did I do with my time?
Time.
I'm telling you, every one of you have experienced that. All right. Okay, should we show them the planner, Sarah?
Yes. How would you like to show them? Because like I said, this is our first time streaming live through this platform, and I can either show them on the website. What would you suggest? I have the physical planner. So
I have the new planner.
You have the new planner. So we did some updates. You go ahead and show them.
Okay, let me show them this, and we will take you maybe on the site as well. So first of all, people want a simple planner. So this is simple. Second of all, as I said, when you visions in planners, weekday divisions, you have weekday divisions, monthly divisions, you have time, slot divisions, all these divisions. What we find is that if you're not able to do your planning consistently every day, that planner can actually set you up for failure, not success. Because you will feel bad that you're not doing your planner. All right. And before you know it, it's going to be under your bed collecting dog hair. So we took care of all that. And I'll tell you what we did. So first of all, when you open up, you actually get a video series to not only go through the tutorial, but also I do a whole video, and you also have the beginning, who are you? So we talk to you about you and really what you're wanting to accomplish, what your dreams are, and how you're going to use this planner and system that we have to do it. Then to get your video series, all you have to do is put your phone on your QR code, and it will take you to the login page, and you get logged in, and the videos are there. Plus, we also have an email series for you. Then we go through all the instructions, getting started. Okay, so we have getting started, and then, each part of the planner, which I'm going to show you, but we go through the whole thing. So you have instructions, but we have something unique with this planner that I don't think any other planner has. And this planner actually takes you through the phases of projects. So you know how to actually create and structure a project. And we teach you, we actually have one here. We have an example on writing a book, writing out a course. All right, so we show you how to do that because these are important things for building influence platforms. We also have something very unique in the planner called brain dumps. And we show you how to get rid of all the stuff that is in your brain distracting you from really what you need to move forward. So when you when you go through the introductory part, all right, then we also have video to go with that. You'll come to, first of all, the monthly calendar. Now we teach you how to do a monthly battle board. So how to plot out your projects for a month so you can really move them forward, what you want to accomplish, and how to not add things that are just going to be too much for you to accomplish. But we put both of the monthly planners at the beginning, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Then the next part we have after the monthly planners is the weekly brain dump and the weekly planning. So you dump your brain here of everything you want to, everything you can think of that you are going to have to deal with that week, and then we plan over here. Then after that, all right, we have all 8 of them. For the 8 weeks of the planner, they're all in the front. The reason for that is because there may be days that you actually don't get to planning. So we want to keep all those days together so you never lose a day. So here, the center of the planner has the daily dues, which include your lifestyle planning, communication, and projects. And then this is the secret sauce right here. We teach you how to use this, and this is where you attach the action to the thing that you need to get done in all of these areas. We also teach you how to task batch. Then this becomes your focus time, not just something on a planner. It's your focus time. And after that, all right, you go through that, all the way through, and you come to the back of the planner. We have a special bonus for you, which is the 4 quarters of influence. You can get that just by using the QR code, or we also have the link. And that is the 4 quarters of influence is, it's an email mini course. It's an ebook and an email course to teach you how to start an influence platform or to grow one. And then we actually have all the phases for the influence platform, exactly what you need to do to launch a book, what you need to do to create and launch a course, what you need to do to create and launch a podcast, and what you need to do to create and launch a YouTube channel. Then we have additional brain dump pages for one day. You might have just so much on your mind. You're like, I gotta get all this out. I have so many ideas and I just need to put them on paper. Here they go. And then we have a number of nice and beautiful note pages for you in the back to scribble your notes, your ideas, your thoughts. So that is the 60-day Blockit planner. Now I want to, at the very end, you can access our academy and the courses and things we're developing there. So that is the planner. Now that is very, very different because most planners actually work on a weekly basis, and they start off with week, then they give you all the days, and then they have another week and they give you all the days. However, as I said, you may not use that planner for 2 or 3 of those days of the week. So you have wasted those sheets. And if you're like many people, they don't want to waste anything. So they'll go to the next week and then fill in the ones from the last week, empty pages. So they're not wasting any pages. And that is not congruent for clear thinking. So with this, we, again, give you not only a series on how to use the planner, but we also have a mindset videos and training videos to really help you move your projects and your business forward. So we show you how to create this system and how to use the planner to focus. So that is the planner. Now, I am not sure where Sarah went. Oh, there she is. Okay, she's back.
I wanted to give you
Okay.
the full screen experience with the planner.
Oh, that was the full screen experience.
Yeah.
That was nice. It was nice. Okay, so Sarah, you want to show them on the website where we can tell them where they can go to get the planner. We have two different kinds, and Sarah's going to tell you a little bit about this now.
So the planner is available on blockitplanner.com. You could just use blockitplanner.com or goforward.shop. And you would go here to order a planner that has the spiral bound. It's also the A4 size. The A4 size is a little bit taller than a letter size 8.5, 11. You can get 20% off your order if you subscribe to our monthly newsletter where we share Grow Forward thoughts, strategies, challenges, and milestones. And it kind of teaches you and talks about the planner and just some things that you might find challenging to you right now that the planner can help with. It's also available on Amazon. If you search blockitplanner.com, or I'm sorry, Blockit Planner on Amazon, it will come up, and that's the A4 size, or that's the letter size, and it's perfect bound, which means it has the binding on the side like this, not the spiral bound. So Amazon for perfect bound and the letter size, and then you can go over to blockitplanner.com for the spiral bound.
Very nice, very nice. Can you show us a couple more of the inside pages, just in case people couldn't see mine very clearly? Do we have
So
any?
this is the, can you see that okay?
Yeah, okay.
So there's the monthly planning, the weekly planning that Hadassah was talking about with the weekly brain dumps and the weekly watering, and then the daily planning system, which is the daily do's and the Blockit.
Right, and we teach you also, we share with you how to create grow goals. So we have a separate audio just for that. So you constantly are receiving the content and motivation and really help, that you're going to need to really push through and get something done. Anything
So that's
else there?
that. That's
Okay.
in a nutshell. That is the Blockit Planner. Of course, there's as Hadassah had mentioned, with every Blockit Planner, there is a mindset video course that literally walks you through the planner, how to use it step by step. If you get stuck, it's very simple to use. It's a simple system, but it is included in every planner.
Yes, it is. It really is. Okay, well, we're excited about that. I mean, actually, we're excited. I'm using the planner and actually doing even a few days a week doing daily planning. So you'll be able to access those videos or join us for that as well. Any last things you want to say, Sarah?
I am so excited to be on this journey as a team, but also I'm excited for the mindset transformation that we're going to witness in everyone that uses this planner and all of the teaching that we'll be bringing to you. Stay tuned. We plan on going live once a week with a different topic, walking you through projects and things like that, using the planner, and also just sharing with you years of experience that both Hadassah and I have in marketing, design, publishing, social media, and we're going to be sharing all of those things with you. And we're just very excited to be on this journey with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we're very excited. Check out the Blockit Planner. We've made it extremely affordable with everything that it comes with. Not only does it come with incredible tutorials and training for you and your business, but also we've made it affordable. So it's like something like less than 50 cents a day. You are going to be able to transform your life and get your projects done, get your business growing. Really get that startup off the ground. You're going to be able to take an idea and move it all the way through to execution. So we're excited about it. We look forward to seeing you next Thursday at the same time. And until then, shalom, shalom from Israel and Olive Tree and Sarah. I will talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you everyone for joining us. See you next
Thank you,
week.
everybody.
Bye-bye.